Hello! Hi! And welcome back to our blind read-through of 2236 AD. Hope you're doing well. When we were together yesterday, I think we got a lot done. I think yesterday's installment was pretty eye-opening. We got to hop into Haru Shion's head, really for the first time, and I feel like the things that was going on with her narration have got my brain meats going about sort of like the nature of what's going on with this world, the nature of what this game is maybe doing from a narrative standpoint, and what the world's nature is. And I think that things are maybe starting to open up a little more, and I'm actually very excited to get it. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. As I was saying, I think things are starting to get very interesting, and I'm very, very excited to see where we're about to go, because I think that the nature of the game is going to start kind of starting to open itself up to us, and I'm very excited to get right back into that. A portion of the internet is finally back up. The data from the day of April 1st EMP storm is finally coming in. There's a lot of it, too. Reports from radio wave observatories across the country are not much different from what I'm hearing on the radio. But hey, take a look. These are some things resembling your situation amongst all the rumors and conjecture flying around, Yotsuba-kun. My inbox is full due to me getting a large amount of cryptic emails. We're finally coming around on this. I got a bunch of emails I can't read. I received 42 mysterious emails. They all had a bunch of different languages mixed in. Perhaps what she says in the email is true. Are you listening, Yotsuba-kun? I'm still unable to follow what's going on. After that, I go outside to charge Moscow. When she starts back up, Moscow has a few more errors for a bit. I don't like that. If she's, doing okay, she should probably not be still glitching out. However, apart from that, Haru's message that Moscow had to read off is more than an incident to me. What does she mean by a universe with different aspects? Does she mean a parallel world? Haru is in a universe that differs from mine? That sounds ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know that anything's, in the realm of ridiculous right now. I think that everything that's happening right now is just kind of yeah, this is about the appropriate amount of fucked up and weird. I remember what happened the other day when the girls disappeared. Yeah, this is, what in the hell is this? This is not normal. What happened on that day when everything was taken from me by a force out of my control? Since we're outside anyway, want to go to that cafe from yesterday? You're pretty absent-minded, Yotsuba-kun. Let's try sorting things out. If we outline the content from her email, this is what we get. This email is a message from the universe with different aspects. Haru is in a universe with different aspects. Haru has memories of this universe on the other side. The dimension permutation hypothesis is the key. So it's I don't know, I feel like it's two worlds overlapping or something. There's less information than I expected in this, but each bit of information carries a lot of weight in this. Honestly, I'm half convinced myself that it's really some sort of April Fool's prank, but the scope of this, you mean the EMP storm? You cannot refute the possibility of someone intentionally causing it. That's what I was thinking. Is it somebody trying to redo Paradigm Lost, maybe? If anything in this game is even really happening. Maybe it was an act of terrorism. Sprung! This is the weirdest place to get a Woody, dude. Senpai flicks my nose with her index finger. It hurts a little. Your expression is terrible. I don't care either way. If it's true or a lie, that is. So, do you believe her, Yotsuba-kun? You don't. I believe, yes. I want to believe. Okay. I'll accompany you then. I mean, I have no choice but to believe. Originally, I found it odd that the moment the emails reached 99, and if we go back even further, the fact that the two girls vanished off the face of the earth was far past the scope of my understanding in the first place, starting from Haru's very existence as a whole. Even though it's too late for that to be surprising now, right? Yeah, I think so. I mean, how am I supposed to see her? It's an interesting story, nonetheless. Okay, the neighborhood of 120-2236 AD is the nearest viable point. Before that, the neighborhood of 11-2000. Next is 424-2449. The year there's no running away. This year there's no running away. Aren't you glad? Good on her for not letting the timing slip past, right, Yotsuba-kun? No prep, no leeway, I see. I'm sorry. It's fine. Take your time and read that email from her. I will do just that. Yotsuba/Haru Shion. I'm being limited, so I'll pain starting from what's crucial, all truth. I am Haru Shion, the Haru Shion in the dark room, and Shion bad at multiplication. Haru Shion with 3 memories. The universe I am in right now and the one where you are have different aspects. The dimension permutation hypothesis was correct. A different cloud has been allocated. This email is a project to verify that hypothesis. Please reach 2236 AD. This year is our big chance. I've been saved all by Haru is the me I hate. Shion is the base me. You loved Haru and Shion, Yotsuba. That makes me happy. I want to see you one more time. That universe resembles this universe, but there's a definite discord. The neighborhood of 122-2236 is the nearest viable point. Before that, the neighborhood of 11-2000. Next is 424-2449. This year there's no more running away. 2,473,704 emails. That's a nuisance, isn't it? My sincerest apologies. The first part has some important sounding keywords written very rudimentarily. I think to myself, is she really okay? But as I read on, proof of Haru Shion's existence and the experiences that happened to her is carefully written down. I don't know whether you'll believe me or not, but I'm no longer in that world. But if I'm no longer in that world, then you must have seen the instant that I vanished. I was so very happy at the time. You were seeing both Haru and Shion. So it's like, I've got thoughts, but I don't know that I want to jump the gun and get ahead of it. Like, there's definitely some fuck shit going on with, like, one world is fake, one world is real. That's kind of my operating assumption. And I don't know. We'll just continue. You accepted us. Each of these 99 emails sent all have the same content, but their separate data differs in data capacity. The capacity of the 1st and 99th is the smallest, where the 50th and 51st being the largest. I'll make a convex graph to illustrate. Gaussian distribution, right? The first email and emails in the vicinity of the 99th have suffered severely damaged data. Maybe it means that these 99 emails that were sent as something that was drawing near and moving away. The message Masako is displaying appears to be integrating all 99 messages into one while trying to account for the bare minimum in terms of damaged data. Nevertheless, the more I read on, the more damage I find, with messages breaking up in unnatural spots. Maybe that's why the beginning sentences were in the shape that they were, because she's trying to only convey important keywords. Like, she can only send so much back in time. Is it like a Steins Gate thing where maybe she can only send back, like, so much data back and forth or something? Like, there's definitely some kind of limit. There's definitely some kind of limit to what she can send for some reason. I'm just not sure what that means, or if it even means anything. It's just that might be like just the limitation that they've put on this various mechanic in the game. Haru and Shion, two personalities, two faces, aspects of the same human being. Though I think saying that I saved her is a gross exaggeration. I don't know, you seem really big into that savior complex, my guy. All I did was, I truly cared for the person known as Haru Shion. Senpai, have you calmed down? Yes. Senpai, how do you suppose I can meet her? Honestly, I haven't a clue. But it would seem dimension permutation hypothesis would be the key. Would be a key word in any case. Well, what kind of hypothesis is the dimension permutation hypothesis? Well, it relates to HT infrastructure theory, 18-dimensional space theory, and superposition geometry. Oh God, I can already feel my brain starting to hurt. We can leave the rest to AI Chan and company here. I will look it up. Let's see here. First, in accordance with HT infrastructure theory, I believe that I will start off by going over how the universe is generally considered to be constructed. Huh? You're quick. Okay. All right. Get your big brain thinking caps on. Let's do this. We're going to school. Everybody, this is what we signed up for. Superposition geometry is the latest form of geometry that focuses on the overlaps in empty space. Space overlapping is referred to as a cloud, and the overlapped space being referred to as a cloud space. Depending on how the clouds overlap, there can be a multitude of cloud spaces formed. Of course, a cloud space in itself is a type of cloud, so overlapping one cloud space with another makes it a cloud space. According to HT infrastructure theory, the space where we lead our normal everyday lives is referred to as the pre-directional dimensional space. According to theory, the universe is thought to have 18 different directions it spreads out into, with 6 of the dimensional axes out of them constructing the space known as pre-directional dimensional space. Okay, those are like the aspects that we know of and deal with on a regular basis, length, width, all of that fun stuff. This too is a type of cloud space. Out of the cloud space constructed by the remaining 12 dimensional axes, we can define the movement of particles within a cloud space incompatible with pre-directional dimensional space as HT phenomena such as telepathy. Okay. It would seem safe to refer to this as mental cloud space, one of the heart and mind. To summarize, according to the HT infrastructure theory, we are able to explain that the dimension that we inhabit is a cloud space where space with a normal height, width, and depth, mental space, and other spaces overlap. Have you ever just said a word so many times and it already just starts sounding like sounds and no longer? That's where I'm at with cloud space. Make me say cloud space again, motherfucker. Now then, what kind of hypothesis is the dimensional permutation hypothesis, you may ask? For our purposes, let's try giving each of the 18 dimensional axes their own name. Okay. So we're going from 1 to 18 and A to R. The ones that are currently selected as pre-directional spaces are the 6-dimensional axes A through F. Now, what do you suppose would happen if we swap these 6-dimensional axes positions with other ones? I think you'd end up with a real fucked up world. When we exchange them like so, the 6-dimensional axes H, I, J, P, Q, and R will most likely create a new pre-directional dimensional spaces. This is also tonight's Wheel of Fortune clue, so... This very concept is an argument behind the dimensional permutation hypothesis. I explained before, this universe has 18 directional expansions. If the dimension permutation hypothesis is correct, one can safely say a universe that exists in an overlapped state will take several forms based on an angle it's viewed at. Okay, so observation obviously plays a key here. I think I get how this is tying to what we're trying to say about, like this is obviously like overlapping worlds in cloud space, right? Like, that's kind of what's happening here, and somehow we're maybe bouncing between them, or Haru has somehow traveled between them. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here. The angle viewed at is known as its aspect. Okay. A universe with different aspects, to put it simply, means a universe where the allocations of the pre-directional dimensional axes differ. Sorry, I don't follow. That's why differing aspects will... Just leave it to me. That's my Moscow. That's my girl. About where is it that you don't follow, sir? So, a universe with different aspect basically boils down to a parallel world. Or something like that? Well, let's see. It being an alternate or parallel world strays a bit from the mark, I'm afraid. Okay, meaning, parallel worlds would imply that there are several different universes and existences, but the dimension permutation hypothesis would suggest that there's only one. Okay. You could probably say that it's one universe with the visible sections being different throughout. So, like, again, like, is it just like a change in observation point? It is essentially how a shadow can be cast in different ways. 6 of the dimensions govern height, length, and depth. But out of these 18, the shadow will be cast differently depending on which of the 6 are chosen. Could you elaborate a little on the word shadow in this context? Okay. Do you know how a spring moves? We call this sort of motion a simple harmonic oscillation, but this is the shadow of a circular motion. Right, yeah, it's up and down. It doesn't look like a circle. Circular motion is a 2-dimensional motion, and a simple harmonic oscillation is a 1-dimensional motion. So, the 2 dimensions are casting a shadow over the 1 dimension. Right, okay. It's akin to making shadow puppets. Does my hand look like Does my hand's shadow look like a dog? How about this one? Both are the same shadow from my hand, but it's the shape that changes. The direction the light hits it, its aspect differs, you see. Very well. I will explain it using concrete numbers. Oh, good! Numbers! Because I'm really good at those. Also, apologies. I kind of sound really bad today. Allergies are kind of kicking my ass. Give me just a moment. It's very professional of me in the middle of a video to take allergy medication. But I'm gonna do it. Look at me go. Nobody's watching this anyway, it's fine. For the sake of simplicity, this time around, we'll be taking a total of 4 dimensions. 4 dimensions cloud spaces to use in this example. Those being the 3 dimensions that have done away with the imaginary axis among the pre-directional dimensional axes, and the 1 dimension that serves as a dimension that rules over mental activity, or as we know it, HT. Did you get all that? We're prepping. Get all this straight in your brain, because I'm rereading this to myself now to make sure that I just got what I just read out loud. This kind of stuff is actually really hard to absorb when you're reading it out loud, I just noticed. The cloud space here overlaps the one mental dimensional space with 3 other dimensional spaces. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, no. Okay, right now I'm displaying the coordinates of where our universe is located above. Incidentally, the below graph shows the correspondence between the value of the electrical axis of the heart and the condition of the mind. Oh my God. Oh, I feel oh God. I feel like I'm having a stroke. This is just a simple example, so in actuality, it's more complicated than that. Now then, let's think about what kind of permutations there are in this universe. Oh, God. I see what you're saying, though. I get like we're putting the things in different spots, and it changes like the way that universe or that dimension is viewed. The way you handle our dimensional cloud space. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just all kinds of unprofessional today. The way you handle four-dimensional cloud space is with 4, which equals 24 ways. Now we form 4 lines. I believe you'll understand once you take a look at this. But each of the coordinates of points represents the three dimensions cloud spaces as they are below. Okay, you will see that they all differ individually. Yeah, I see it. I get it. I'm just maybe not picking up 100% on how this is tying to things. These various objects are a clustering of points, so lines 1 through 4 should be indicative of states of each individual differing object. However, what you should pay attention to here is that these are all the same point. The visible portions, the shadows cast in the 3 dimensions cloud space, shapes might vary, but these are all generated from a single point. Right, I get that. In addition, let's add in the mental condition here. I'm feeling a lot of these 3 right now. At my brain trying to figure this out. Or a lot of these 2 right now. I don't know why I thought that was 3. In actuality, it's not as simplistic as it may seem here, but to break it down, a person in line 1 who's sad will be happy in line 4. Okay, so I'm just kind of like... I apologize if this is not a very entertaining episode right now, because I'm trying to like picture all this in my mind and suss it out, and it's not something I can easily talk out. Following from that, the sadness from line 1 and the happiness from line 4 are both happening simultaneously. Just as changing the shape of your hand simultaneously alters the shadow puppet you cast on the wall, each individual aspect is linked to every other. Right. I get it. There is only a single point, or in other words, there is only a single universe, but you can pick up several different aspects, shadows cast from it. The dimension permutation hypothesis declares that each separate universe that differs in aspects might be following the logic of parallel worlds. So it follows the logic, but it's not actually that. 18-dimensional universal spaces, so 6 out of them are molding both the world I see and my own body. Also, right now, Haru is in a universe with a different way of molding things. However, there's only one universe, which means somewhere in this universe, there's something connecting with Haru on the universe on the opposite side. There has to be an overlap. Like, if this is how, like, if it's all cloud space with, like, overlapping and shit, then yeah, like, it has to line up, right? Like, there has to be an intersection somewhere where... like, I don't really know what it means yet with, like, your brain or your consciousness or your entire physical form just leaving here and going to that dimension? That's right, Yotsuba-kun. Then we have to find that. Or else, yeah. Still, it's amazing. Dimensional permutation hypothesis. If this was if it was this incredible of a subject, it should be more of a big topic. What do you mean? You know, this history hypothesis? Whatever it is, it's amazing, isn't it? It's almost like we're in pursuit of the truth of the world. Yeah, in a way. Like, I feel like this is something that, like... is this universal knowledge, or are we just kind of, like, finding this out for the first time? It doesn't feel like we're finding it out for the first time. It just kind of feels like it's not... I don't know. What would happen if you explained the truth of the world? Why would you try to strike would you try to strike it big and make some sort of different world travel company? Huh? Well, there's no point to it. There's no point. Even if this hypothesis is correct, you do realize that you can't go to the universe with differing aspects, right? Huh? It's like a shadow trying to go to another shadow. What does that mean? Shadow or not? Okay. Ah, I see. I mean, going from here to here. You can't, yeah. Yeah, not doing it. We don't know how to go. We don't know how to go there. Like, how do you plan on moving from shadow to shadow in the first place? It's an extremely difficult problem being posed. Something like that. Well, it's hard to make anything like that a big topic, no? Parallel worlds and the many worlds interpretation. Long ago, many scholars trifled with theories and thought things like that up, but they ultimately figured that there's no point if you're unable to go there. I don't know, Kataru Uchikoshi seems real determined to find the way there. Through the morphogenetic field, we're gonna get there, I think. If there is one man that's going to get us to transcend, it's going to be Kataru Uchikoshi. Mark my damn words. In other words, it's an empty theory. It would maybe make a good novel and a few good video games, but there's not enough footing to make a thesis, don't you think? She has a point. It's almost talking about grabbing clouds. Besides, Yotsuba-kun, how many ways do you think there are to take the aspects of the 18-dimensional spaces? A whole lot! There's so many configurations. I bet you already did the math and you're going to tell me, aren't you? If we were to calculate a factorial of 18, that sends shivers down my spine. Try calculating it, please. Yeah, it's 6,402,372,305,705,728,000 ways, ma'am. So quick. Yep. That's so much. 18 factorial is... Woo! The universe that she is inhabiting is one of those many. Don't worry, if Rika Furude can work for 100 years to find just the right fragment, we got this. No way. That's crazy talk. It means trying to search through an enormous amount of universes. How do you suppose would be the best way of going about that? We have no clue on a way to go see her. No clue on how to go there either. That's quite a lofty task. It's extremely difficult indeed. That's a terrible expression. Honestly speaking, I'm completely stymied as to what I should be doing. Yotsuba-kun, yes. I know I've been posing all this, but personally, I'm not trying to be pessimistic on the matter. I think it's plenty possible to somehow get you to see her. Really? You see a way for this to happen? You think it's plenty possible, huh? How so? Phenomena take precedence over theory. Oh, I mean, that's true. If something fucking happens, then you can make theories as to why it happened, but the thing is that it happened, so it's no longer a theory, and... Excuse me? Look at it this way. Whether it's implausible theoretically or whatever, it's not as if this girl has actually transcended all aspects of the universe. What is actually transpiring here is much, much stronger than a simple empty theory. Yotsuba-kun. That's the part that makes you wonder, doesn't it? Now I get it. You're saying that there's a loophole somewhere in the dimension permutation hypothesis, or that there's a way that no one is privy to that doesn't contradict the dimension permutation hypothesis. A way to move from shadow to shadow. You're just big brain over here, aren't you? Jeez. Thank you very much, Hime-senpai. Why the need to be so formal? You're looking after my well-being so cordially, it makes me extremely happy. Don't mention it. By myself, I have no doubt I would not be able to accomplish anything. I think that I'm beginning to comprehend the situation that I've been thrust into. I'm starting to get it! I think that, it's starting to come together, but I think it's more just, bits and pieces, or just, I don't have the game figured out. I don't have the world figured out. I think I just have an idea of how it's working so that when they finally reveal it, I'm not going to go, oh, that's an ass pull! I guess so long as, like, that big info dump, like, so long as the big info dump gets me to that point to where it's like, yeah, I think that's plausible. That's really all I need. The fact that Haru is currently in a universe with differing aspects, the fact that we have no clue on how to transcend the aspects of the universe, the fact that the aspects of the universe, after we transcend them, have 18 factorial, big fucking number of ways to be interpreted. What is any of this? It's bonkers. It's bonkers. It's totally nuts. No ifs, ands, or buts. The chances of me reuniting with Haru are no longer zero, so you're saying there's a chance. I hope. Did I mention permutation hypothesis, huh? Hime-senpai, however, is quite calm about the matter. When the EMP storm hit out of the blue, and the email from the other dimension, I mean, the universe with differing aspects came, she could at least be more shaken up about things. Nah, I don't think you're shaking this girl. She seems pretty rock solid right now. I think it's gonna be a while before anything starts messing with her. Whatever. Figuring out she knew the dimension permutation hypothesis, it's not really all that surprising, I guess. Or maybe... I see. Maybe she's so nonchalant because it doesn't really involve her. Why did you know about the dimension permutation hypothesis, senpai? I told you I read the entirety of the Akashic Phone, right? It was written in there. There really is everything written in there, huh? That's the kind of books they are. Meaning that the dimension permutation hypothesis is a scholarly hypothesis from before the time of Paradigm Lost, right? It makes you wonder just how much is written in one book of the Akashic Phone. Granted, they say that everything we learn in school is also written in the Akashic Phone. As I look at Hime-senpai, however, it seems unlikely that the way to meet Haru just so happens to be written in the book. I see. What's the matter? Senpai has once again gone and linked up with in my head without my permission. The dimension permutation hypothesis. Universe with differing aspects, the Akashic Phone. What's her deal? We're going back. Going back? To the repository. Right. My research just might be able to help you yet, Yotsuba-kun. All right. So I feel like our brains have been sufficiently expanded. We've got the great big info dump. We need to kind of twist our heads around a little bit to maybe help us understand the world a little more. We'll let that all kind of marinate on the old brain meats until next time. So you have a nice rest of your whatever, and we'll talk to you next time when I'm sure things are going to be nice and straightforward as they have continued to be for the duration of the game. Bye!